When teaching, I often find it important to emphasize the difference between snapping and thrusting power within technique. Here are a few ideas which will help emphasize these points within kicks. Normally, when we do Mai-Geri, we practice from Shomen-dachi, hip square, so we can concentrate on the contraction of our stomach as we start our kick. However, we can also practice from Hami-dachi, hips back, so we use the snap of the hips from Hami to Shomen to create impetus for our Mai-Geri. So from here, push from the back leg, snap your hips and allow this to catapult your leg forward. So when we perform a snap kick, we are feeling that our hips are snapping our foot in. Similar to when we do Gakuzuki, our fist is being snapped with our hips as we punch forward. However, when we thrust, we must feel like we're bringing our foot up close to the power source and thrusting in as we drive the foot forward. With Mai-Geri Kokomi, start in Shomen-dachi and concentrate on bringing your knee up to your shoulder so your foot is at the same level as your hip. From this point, it is easy to thrust your hips in with your foot as you drive forward with your heel. Ha! With Mawashi-geri Kyage, again start in Hami-dachi and use the snap of the hip and the driving off of the back leg to quickly prepare for Mawashi-geri and then allow your kick to follow through, snap before you step forward. With Mawashi-geri Kokomi, again start in Hami-dachi and use your stomach muscles to bring your back knee to your far shoulder so your foot is in front of your hip. Then as you drive forward with your hip, lock your foot out so it is strong for impact. With Yokoge Kyage from Zenkustachi, you can start in Hami or Shomen, but the important thing is to not release your front foot until you engage your hips. Many people, as they prepare, turn the supporting leg, so when they snap, they're not using the hips and only the rising of the foot to create power. When doing Yokoge Kyage, make sure you maintain the tension in your stance as you prepare your foot. Keep this tension until the last moment, then release it as your hip snaps forward and delivers power to the target. Ha! Yokoge Kokomi is similar. You must not release the supporting leg too early, as it will only dissipate your power. Maintain this tension in your stance as you bring your knee up to your opposite chest and your foot behind your hip. From this contracted position, it is easy to drive forward as you step into Zenkustachi. Finally, it is worth emphasising again the importance of preparing correctly when we snap and thrust our technique. If we think that our arm is our leg and our shoulder is our hip, then it's easy to understand why. When we snap our technique, we bring our foot behind our hip and snap forward. However, if we want to drive forward, we bring our foot in front of our hip and thrust our power forward. If we think about it in this way, it's easy to understand how we snap and thrust with Mae-geri, Kiyagi, Kokomi, Mawashigeri, Kiyagi, Kokomi, and Yoke-geri, Kiyagi and Kokomi.